Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So basically we know that Manchester United played today against Leicester City, 2:05 kick-off as I currently said, and it basically is a must-win game for Manchester United as we all currently know. You know, with Chelsea winning by 5 goals to 0 yesterday and all that, potentially now we do sit 5 points in the top four, 2 points behind Arsenal in the current process. So basically, in relation that we need to win that game against Leicester tomorrow, as I currently said. But Leicester, are doing pretty decent. They got a good draw against Liverpool, as we all know. They beat the likes of Manchester City. They beat Chelsea as well. Did Leicester City, as I currently said. But Leicester have got the likes of Harry Maguire, who's in very, very good form for Leicester. They've got Jamie Vardy, who's a very, very good, player as well, who's progressing from non-league football and broken to the Premier League. And since he's been in the Premier League, Jamie Vardy has done very, very good for Leicester. So our back line, can't allow him, loads of opportunities, because potentially, if he does get given the opportunity, Jamie Vardy, he will put them in the back of the, as I currently said. And Leicester are very, very good on the counter attack. And I think James Maddison's very, very good for Leicester, as I currently said in the process. So potentially we will have to be up for the task today against Leicester City, as we all currently know. But as I did say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has given us a bit of news, going to the game. Chris Smalling, I don't think he's going to be featuring, because I don't think he has travelled, to be quite honest with you. But Chris Smalling recovered from a foot injury, as we all currently know. I think basically Ander Herrera, will be coming back in the team. It'll be interesting to see Herrera come up against James Maddison, as I currently said. So I do think Herrera will be coming back into the team, because I think Herrera has played a big part, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming. I think Herrera has played a very, very big part. I think he's becoming more of a regular in the team, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in under Herrera. I do expect, Lingard to be playing as well. I think Lingard will be operating on that left-hand side, on that right-hand side, sorry, I should say. Probably Rashford will be playing. If Rashford does play today, he'll be making his 100th, he'd made his 100th appearance in the Premier League, for Manchester United as well, Marcus Rashford. Martial, obviously, didn't feature last time out, because I think he suffered a minor injury, but I think Martial will be in contention to play, as I currently said, and he looks very, very influential on that left-hand side, does Anthony Martial, as I currently said. So Martial probably will be starting. Pogba suffered a minor injury as well, but I think Pogba will be okay to start against Leicester today, as I currently said. Centre-back partnership, I think he should give Bailly the chance, to be quite honest, because I think Eric Bailly and Lindelof, look very, very good together, as I currently said. He may put Jones alongside Lindelof. We know Solskjaer's mainly been going with Phil Jones and Victor Lindelof as centre-back partnership, but I would basically give Bailly the chance, because Bailly's been in and out of the team this season. So basically, I would put Bailly alongside Lindelof, as I currently said. But, he will rotate the squad, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because obviously he did make 5 changes, against Burnley. Burnley was quite a poor performance, to be quite honest, but we did have a lot of chances in the game. We had 28 shots, 35 crosses in the game as well, as I currently said. But yeah, we did, in the end, we showed some good commitment, and we showed desire, and, we showed good desire, to get back into the game in the end. Obviously, we know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 100% record is over with Manchester United, because obviously we dropped points against Burnley. We've won 8 out of 9, as I currently said, so we are still 9 undefeated under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. But yeah, Solskjaer has give us a bit of team news, going into the game, and he will rotate the squad with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. At right back, I'd like to see Diego Dalot come into contention, to be quite honest with you, but it probably will be Ashley Young, because obviously Ashley Young has been our first choice right back, as I currently said, so it probably will be Ashley Young. Obviously Luke Shaw will be at left back, because obviously Luke Shaw is our first choice left back. Maybe he may start Mata in this game, I'm not too sure, to be quite honest with you, who he starts. He may start Mata, but I think he'll go with Herrera, Matic and Pogba, because that's obviously they're a very, very good trio, and obviously the very, very effective Herrera, Matic and Pogba, as I said. But he will rotate the squad, will Solskjaer. Probably Rashford will be playing centrally in that number 9 position, because I do think Romelu Lukaku probably will be dropped in this game. He may start the game, I'm not too sure, but I think since Solskjaer's coming, Romelu Lukaku's form has been rejuvenated, to be quite fair. He was poor against Burnley. I think the majority of the team were very, very poor against Burnley, because his finishing wasn't good enough, and we had a lot of chances, but a lot of them were wasteful. But as I did say, I do think he'll probably put Rashford centrally, put Martial, on the left-hand side, as I currently said. But we know mainly that Martial and Marcus Rashford have obviously been first choice over Sanchez and Lukaku, because Sanchez, to be quite honest, he's been here over the year. He's on over £500,000 a week, as we all know, with Sanchez. But obviously, he's been here over the year. But obviously, he hasn't really proven himself. He hasn't developed Sanchez. But as I said, he has had a couple of injury problems, as I said. But he may improve under the brilliance of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer Sanchez when he does get the chance. Lukaku, as I said, he's a proven goal scorer in the Premier League. As I said, he can score goals. Romelu Lukaku, as I currently said, and he's proven himself very, very well in the Premier League. But his first touch does concern me. He's very, very slow. He's Romelu Lukaku, as I currently said. And the likes of Rashford, who's got to compress out the pitch. Martial's got pace who can press out the pitch. Lingard's got pace who can press high up the pitch as well. And Lukaku cannot do this, as I currently said. So obviously he hasn't been first choice, as we all know. We know Lukaku has started the last 2 games, as I currently said, but I do think he will be dropped today, to be quite honest with you. But it's a must-win game for Manchester United, as I currently said. Obviously, we haven't lost to Leicester, since 2014 when they did beat us 5-3. That was under the Louis van Gaal era. So we are unbeaten against them in our last 8 meetings, as I said. And Leicester are sitting 11th in the Premier League. They've won 9 games out of 24. They've drawn 5, and they have currently lost 10 of Leicester City. But Leicester have got some good players in their team that could cause problems for us as well, as I currently said. So it is a must-win game for Manchester United. And obviously, we do know basically that obviously the club is still, Ed Woodward's still looking to recruit a director of football to come in before we do commit to any future signings. It was disappointing that we didn't make any signings in the January transfer window, because we know that these key areas in our squad that we do need to strengthen up. We do need a strong central defender. We need someone on the right-hand side, and because I think we basically need a centre defensive midfielder, that's fast and tenacious. But as I did say, the majority of our attack is coming from the left-hand side, as we all currently know. And obviously the club are still recruiting, to get a full-time manager in at the end of the season on a full-time basis. And we all basically know that Pochettino still remains the number one. We know that Pochettino does remain the number one as well. But Pochettino, as I currently said, I just don't think he's got any intentions of leaving Tottenham. To be quite honest with him, Mauricio Pochettino, as I currently said, he hasn't won out in terms of silverware, so he hasn't really proven himself as Mauricio Pochettino, as we all currently know. But he's done a very, very good job with Tottenham. I can't slate down what he's done for Tottenham. He has been managing since 2009. He knows about the Premier League. He understands the Premier League. He's good at growing and developing young players. Is Mauricio Pochettino. Obviously, he signed a 5-year deal last summer with Tottenham as well, and we know he's been as number one target for quite a long time now, to come in at the end of the season on a full-time basis. But according to what reports said 2 or 3 weeks ago, reportedly Danny Levy was standing firm and he was being ruthless, and he was not willing to let Mauricio Pochettino leave Tottenham. Even if we were willing to offer in the excess of around £40-50 million, Daniel Levy would not let Mauricio Pochettino leave. But I think Pochettino's happy at Tottenham anyway. He's got them second place finishes, third place finishes, got them to the last 16 of the Champions League, as I currently said. He also had a very, very good record, when he was at Southampton as well, Mauricio Pochettino. Tottenham have only spent, £50 million since 2014, but they are there in the mix, and now they're only sitting 4 points behind Man City, as I said, and they're doing well considering that they've got Harry Kane out, through injury till March. They've got Dele Alli out with injury until March as well, so they have got 2 of the superstars out of Tottenham, as I said, so they are in a shout, for the league this season. Tottenham Hotspur, and it's between Man City, Liverpool and Tottenham for the league this season without a doubt. But as I did say, I think Solskjaer's brought something magical to the club. Obviously, I'd like him to get the job on a full-time basis. Obviously, he's a cheaper alternative. He's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's a cheaper alternative, as we all clearly know. It wouldn't cost us out, to recommend him on a full-time basis. But if we were to recommend Pochettino at the end of the season on a full-time basis, it would cost the club around at least £40 million. When we can save that money, keep Solskjaer, and probably get a signing with that money, because I think we are already making plans of who we want to get in the summer, because I do see players leaving. I see experienced players leaving Manchester United in the summer as well. But it was disappointing, that we didn't get anyone in the January transfer window. as I currently said. But a few names have been mentioned who we could go for in the summer, as I currently said. One name did get mentioned in the media, as I currently said, and this was what's his name? Jan. Jadon Sancho, the Borussia Dortmund winner, as I currently said. Reportedly, it did say Man United may be preparing to make a move for him in the summer. He's only 18 years of age. He's a Borussia Dortmund winner, as we all know. He's called Jadon Sancho, or Sancho, however you pronounce his name. He's called Jadon Sancho, I think he's called. This player is a Borussia Dortmund player. He's 18 years of age. Reportedly, he's rated at least around £90 million. So Man United would be spending big on the current player if we were to go for him in the summer. He's a Borussia Dortmund player, as I said, and since he's got in the first team with Borussia Dortmund, reportedly his performances have been very, very impressive indeed, and he is young, so we are going to see it probably at least 3 or 4 players, going in the summer window. So we'd like to maybe get some young players that would grow and develop, very, very well under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Is, of course, if Solskjaer is still the manager at the end of the season, he does get the job on a full-time basis, because reports are coming out saying that reportedly something to do with the Glazers. The Glazers are reportedly going to give Manchester United a £200 million spending spree to spend in the summer, depending whether it's still going to be Solskjaer's full-time manager or it's going to be another manager. As I currently said, reportedly we're going to get a £200 million spending spree to spend in the summer on players. But reportedly, one of the names that had been mentioned was Jadon Sancho, as I currently said. Borussia Dortmund winner, as I said, only 18 years of age, very, very young in his prime, as I said. He's got a contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022, but we know Borussia Dortmund have done business in the past. They sold Christian Pulisic to Chelsea, but he's going to be officially playing for Chelsea in the new season. Chelsea and Borussia Dortmund have come to an agreement on £58 million, and Christian Pulisic is very, very young in his prime. He's 20 years of age, but obviously he's found game time difficult this season, because obviously Jadon Sancho has been first choice of Christian Pulisic. Also, too, Borussia Dortmund did sell Ousmane Dembele to Barcelona for around, was it £106 million, as I said. But reportedly, Man United have kept a close eye on this Jadon Sancho. Man United have kept a close eye on him. They've been monitoring the player, as I currently said. But this player, since he's been in Germany, he's been very, very good indeed. He's been at Borussia Dortmund since 2017, played in the Borussia Dortmund reserve team, and he's been at Borussia Dortmund a couple of years. He's obviously had experience of playing in English football as well. I think he played for Manchester City for a couple of years as well. He never played in the first team with Manchester City. Began his youth career with Watford as well for a number of years. Did this Jadon Sancho as well. And Borussia Dortmund paid £7-8 million for him from Manchester City, as we all currently know. But I think Manchester City do have the buyback option on the current player as well. But reportedly, since he's been at Borussia Dortmund, his performances have been impressive. Reportedly. And, there's been a few other targets, we've been interested in as well. I do want to mention here, we know basically that Steven Bergwijn had got mentioned as well. He's another player that got mentioned in the media as well. In the January transfer window, reportedly Man United instructed scouts, to go and watch Steven Bergwijn. He's only 20 years of age. He's Dutch. He plays for PSV, and reportedly since he's been at PSV, his performances have been very, very good. So he has got a good Eredivisie record as a player. Since he's got into the first team, I think his performances have been good. He's got a deal with PSV until 2022. He used to play in the PSV reserve team, as I currently said. He actually began his youth career with Ajax, did the player as well. Reportedly rated at around £24 to £5 million, this Steven Bergwijn, as I said. So reportedly it did say Man United want to get kept informed if PSV are willing to do any business. So it's a deal that probably will likely happen in the summer if a deal is to go through. We know that Felix, that Benfica player, as well as also being mentioned in the media, 19 years of age, as I currently said. He's only 19 years of age, this player. Reportedly Manchester United have reportedly been interested in him. It did say throughout the course of the January transfer window that reportedly Manchester United were interested in this Felix. Reportedly it did say quite a few other teams were interested in him as well, but reportedly Man United instructed scouts, to keep a close eye on the player. He's only 19 years of age, as I said. It did say a few other teams were interested in him. Reportedly he's got a buyout clause of around £105 million. That's staggering amounts of money, as I currently said. That's staggering amounts of money, as I currently said, for this Felix, as I said. But he's only been in the Benfica first team since last year. But reportedly, since he's booked into the first team, his performances have been very, very good indeed. Throughout the January transfer window, it reportedly said that Liverpool had around a £61 million bid turned down for Felix as well. So Man United may consider, going for him in the summer as well. But he did say a few other teams were interested in him. He can actually play as a winger and a midfielder and a striker, so he is versatile. He's a player, and he has got some good physical attributes, as I said. But he's yet to make his senior debut for Portugal as this player. And he's called, I can't remember his first name, but he is called Felix, as I currently said. So we have reportedly, being interested in him. But we know reports are coming out saying our two major targets for the summer that we do want to get into the club, because we can afford, to spend quite a lot of money, in the summer, considering that we didn't invest in the January transfer window, and we know Jadon Sancho would cost us a lot of money, to get him in. We know basically that our two major targets for the summer are Koulibaly and reportedly, Milan Skriniar has been mentioned in the media as well. In relation to Koulibaly, we know he would cost us in the excess of around 90, 100 million pounds, as we all currently know, because obviously we've been linked with Koulibaly, since last summer, as I said, and I think, if we were to get Koulibaly in, it'd be a major signing for us. It'd be fantastic, as I said, and he'd complement the likes of Lindelof and Eric Bailly, with Koulibaly. He has got a contract with Napoli till 2023, and we know he's grown and developed very, very well. He's 27 years of age. He's very, very tall as well, which is very, very beneficial. I think he's 6'5". He's Koulibaly, as I said, but he'd look good, if you put him alongside Lindelof, and Lindelof, who's improved this season, Eric Bailly, who's got great potential, has been in and out of the team this season, but I do think Eric Bailly needs to be playing more. But Koulibaly, as I said, he's a very, very good player, as I said. Man United, obviously, we're in talks with Napoli of getting a deal over the line and coming to an agreement. In the process, Manchester United had 3 bids turned down. Obviously, the recent one was a staggering £95 million that had been turned down, but as the Napoli president confirmed, they were not willing to let Koulibaly go in the January window. But I think he feels unhappy there. It would be good for him, to experience the Premier League, as I said, to see how he would cooperate and see how he would fit in a Manchester United squad, as I said. But he's unhappy at Napoli, as you can tell, because the majority of this was due to the racial abuse, he suffered, back in December, the current player as well, and he does feel unhappy about this, does Koulibaly. But we have got that final power, to meet his valuation, as I currently said. But Manchester United, of course, have been linked with him as well. We know, obviously, Milan Skriniar has been mentioned as well. He's been mentioned in the media as well as Milan Skriniar. And I do really, really like Milan Skriniar. He's 23 years of age. Obviously, he's 4 years younger than Koulibaly. He's obviously nowhere near the same level or, same calibre as Koulibaly, as I could is Milan Skriniar. But he's 23 years of age. Reportedly, since he's been at Inter Milan, his performances have been very, very impressive indeed as Milan Skriniar's. As I said, only 23 years of age, so he's still got a lot of years ahead of him to grow and develop and mould is Milan Skriniar. Reportedly rated at around 75 million pounds is Milan Skriniar, as I currently said. But reportedly he's been mentioned in the media as well. Can play as a centre-back, can also play as a defender as well, can Milan Skriniar. But we have been linked to quite a few defenders, because we do need a central defender in our team, as we all currently know, because to be quite honest with you, as I did say, I do think players, will be leaving Manchester United. I think experienced players will be leaving in the summer. I think at least 3 or 4 will go in this summer. So we'll have to think about adequate replacements, as I currently said. And obviously, we've still got to sort contracts out, as we all know. Got to get players contract renewals, as I said. Obviously, we've already agreed to get, Martial. Obviously, Martial's already, signed a 5-year deal with Manchester United, which was very, very good news. With an option of a further year as well, which was very, very good to hear, as I currently said. But we know, as I did say, guys, I do think, players, will be leaving Manchester United in the summer. I think Valencia will probably leave in the summer, to be quite honest, because he's been struggling, to get in the Manchester United team. obviously, hasn't hardly played in the Premier League this season because we know it's Ashley Young who was being first choice in the Manchester United team. Valencia has been a good servant over the years. He's been here a number of years now, as I said. He's been at Manchester United, since 2009. We got him from Wigan. He's won everything here, of course. He's made over 300 odd appearances as Antonio Valencia, but I do think he's past it now, to be quite honest with you. I do think we have the option, to extend his contract by a further year, but I think Valencia, could reportedly, leave in the summer. Reports and the narrative about this reportedly that it did say Fulham and Newcastle were interested in Antonio Valencia at the back end of the January window, and the report saying that he could leave in the January transfer window, Antonio Valencia, but I think he could be set to move in the summer, as I said, Antonio Valencia. Maybe Ashley Young, could leave in the summer, even though in the process we have been in talks of getting Ashley Young a new deal at Manchester United, as we all currently know. Obviously, we have the option. We've been in talks of getting him a new 1-year extension on his current contract, considering that obviously we're not going to offer him a long-term contract, considering that he is age 33. Obviously, Valencia is 33 as well, but we know Ashley Young's obviously been our first choice right back, as I said. He's an experienced full-back, as I currently said. But obviously, when Ashley Young was a lot younger in his prime, he was mainly a right winger, was Ashley Young. But as I did say, we obviously operate him as a right back. But to be quite honest with you now, I do think he's past it at Manchester United. But he's been here a good number of years now. He's been here 7-8 years at Manchester United, well proven in the Premier League, as I currently said, and he's made over 300 appearances as Ashley Young. Scored, won everything here at Manchester United as well. But he could also leave in the summer. I'm not too sure, but we might still get him a new 1-year extension on his current contract. I do think Marcus Rojo, could be on his way out, to be quite honest with you. He's another player I do think could leave Manchester United as well in the summer, because he's, enjoyed a very, very difficult time, since he's come to Man United. He struggled with his fitness regime, had a lot of injury problems, so he has struggled, to get a run of games in Marcus Rojo. His versatility at the back's very, very good, because he can operate as a left wing back, he can operate as a centre back as well. So his versatility is very, very good, and I think he can actually operate as a full back as well, Rojo. But he's good there as a backup option. But to be quite honest with you, I do maybe see him leaving in the summer. He may not, but he could leave in the summer. Another player I think will go in the summer as well is Matteo Darmian. He's another player I think will leave Manchester United, because he's another player that's enjoyed a very, 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 very difficult time since Manchester United. Darmian, we have extended his current contract by a further year, so we can cash in for the player in the summer if he currently does leave, Matteo Darmian. And we know that Juventus and Inter Milan have been interested in him, as I said, but he's obviously had a lot of experience of playing in Italy, when he was a lot younger in his prime, Matteo Darmian. Obviously, played for Milan, began his youth career with Milan, played for Torino and all that. As I currently said, Manchester United paid over £12 million for him from Torino, as I currently said, but he's enjoyed a difficult time, since he's come to Manchester United, Matteo Darmian. Maybe Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, could go in the new next season as well. So I do think, players will be going, and I do think at least 3 or 4, will be departing in the summer, as I currently said. I do think he will be leaving in the summer, as I currently said. So I do think, quite a few players will leave, to be quite honest with you. But in the process, I do hope, we do get new contracts for the likes of Ander Herrera and all that, and maybe get, Rashford to a new long-term deal as well. Obviously, Ander Herrera, as I currently said, I hope somewhere along the line we can get him a new long-term, a new deal at the club, to be quite honest with you, because Ander Herrera, as I did say along this video, he's been a big part of the team. He's been more of a regular in the team, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in, Ander Herrera, as I currently said, and I think he complements our midfield, very, very well, does Ander Herrera. So hopefully somewhere along the line we can get him a new deal. We have been in talks of getting him a new deal as well. We have been, been in talks of getting Juan Mata a new 1-year extension at Manchester United as well. Obviously, we're only going to be willing to offer him a new 1-year extension, considering that Juan Mata is 30 years of age, as I said, well proven in the Premier League, of course, and I still think he's been a very, very consistent player, since we got him in 2014. We paid just under £40 million for him from Chelsea, but he's been in the Premier League a number of years now, a good 8 years. Obviously, this was including his 3 years, he had with Chelsea, Juan Mata, as I currently said, and he's won everything in England, apart from the Premier League, and that's the only thing Juan Mata hasn't won, but he's won everything else, as I said. But since he's been at Man United, he's made over 200 odd appearances, as I currently said. But obviously, when we do play him, we mainly play him on the right hand side. We know he can play as an attacking mid, but mainly that's Paul Pogba's position, because I think Pogba is very, very effective in that number 10 position, to counter to it, just behind the centre forward. I think Pogba, looks very, very good indeed. But Juan Mata, as I said, it did actually say, a few teams were reportedly interested in Juan Mata back in January. It did say Barcelona were interested. It did say Arsenal were interested as well, because obviously Juan Mata, when he was a lot younger in his prime, as I said, he played under Emery, as I currently said, when he had his 4-year spell with Valencia, and he does miss Spain, I think, does Juan Mata, as I currently said. But we have been in the process of getting him a new 1-year extension at Manchester United, as I currently said. And hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement of getting Marcus Rashford a new long-term deal at the club as well. Because Rashford's been scoring, he's been providing, and he's been a United player since the age of 7, and he's progressing up the ranks fantastically well as Marcus Rashford, as I currently said. Very, very good. I think he's our number 9. His pace is unbelievable. His finishing's really, really improved as well, and he's playing a key role under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. His current deal does end in 2020, as I currently said. His current deal with an option of a further year, but obviously Man United are in negotiations and in the process of getting a new long-term deal at the club. There has been reports coming out from the media saying that Real Madrid are maybe planning to offer around £100 million for him in the summer. But Rashford, this is a false narrative, because obviously Rashford has no intentions of leaving Manchester United, as I currently said. Born in Manchester, been a United player since the age of 7, progressing up the ranks very, very well, as I currently said. But reportedly did say Real Madrid have reportedly been interested in Marcus Rashford to get him in the summer before he does sign a new long-term deal with Man United. It did say Real Madrid were prepared to offer him around £250,000 a week, reportedly, plus a £100 million bid. But in the process, he's currently earning £6,000 a week at Manchester United at the moment. But as I did say, in the process, if we can get Rashford a new long-term deal, his wages will increase by a lot. We will offer him around £200,000 a week, as I currently said. But he's going nowhere, Marcus Rashford. He's very, very happy at Manchester United, as I currently said. But in my opinion, I do think Solskjaer should get the job on a full-time basis, because he knows the champions of the club, he knows the culture of the club, and he knows the club inside out, because he was a great player for 11 years. Don't forget, under Alex Ferguson, he was very, very good. He scored goals, and he won trophies. He scored in 1999 final. That's a memorable moment you will never ever forget, and someone will never ever forget. And he's watched some of these players grow and develop. When he managed the reserve team, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, so he knows everything about the club. His tactics right, his lineups are right. He doesn't rest on his laurels. Solskjaer, he shows that inspiration, as we all currently know. But Solskjaer did say back in the January window that he didn't expect Manchester United to make any signings. He said it was unlikely that Manchester United were going to make any signings, as I currently said. I think he should have been given the money, to spend in the January window, to be quite honest with you. But it had to be, as I currently said, and obviously we're going to have to make plans, to get some players in the summer, as I currently said. But reportedly, something to do with the Glazers. Reportedly, Man United are going to get around the £200 million spending spree to spend in the summer. Whether it's going to be Solskjaer who's going to keep the job, and he's going to get the job on a full-time basis, or it's Mauricio Pochettino that comes in. Pochettino, I just don't think he's got any intentions of leaving Tottenham, as I do keep saying. But yeah, I don't think Pochettino will come to Old Trafford, to be quite honest, because I don't think he's got any intentions of coming to United. And Solskjaer would like the job on a full-time basis. Reports have been coming out saying reportedly the board have made it clear if Man United do progress and they do beat PSG in the Champions League, reportedly Solskjaer will get the job on a full-time basis. That's allegedly according to what reports have said about the scenario, as I currently said. But for me, Solskjaer's the right man, as I currently said. I think he knows what he's doing, as I said. Obviously 9 games unbeaten so far, as I currently said. But I think he knows what he's doing. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's brought the fluidity back to the team. Pogba's getting the freedom to express himself. And I think when Pogba's in this kind of form, he's a player that can be on 12 to 15 goals a season. Obviously won the World Cup with France last summer as well. But Paul Pogba, as I currently said, his performances have been fantastic under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I do think, it looks very, very effective in that number 10 role. There's Paul Pogba, as I currently said. And I think the majority of the team have really, really improved since Solskjaer's come in. So you can see the vast improvements in the team, but there's still room for improvement in the team. And I do think, I've been impressed with Nemanja Matic. I think he's really, really improved since Solskjaer's coming. I think his distribution's improved. I think he's always been a good passer of the ball, but I know he's slow and I do have reservations about him. But I think he has improved under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to be quite fair. And I think all the team have basically improved since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming, because Solskjaer did say he wanted the team to express themselves, get the team to express themselves, get them enjoying football again. And this is what Solskjaer's actually, brought to the team. He's brought attacking football to the team. He's, obviously we can see that we're playing more direct, more forward thinking, which is very, very good to see. As I said, I think defensively we have slightly improved since Solskjaer's come in. We're creating more chances, we're scoring goals, as you can see, but there's still room for improvements in the Manchester United squad, as I currently said. But as I did say, we must beat Leicester tomorrow. It's a must-win game for Manchester United, as I currently said, if we do want to get that top four, because obviously that's our target this season, is to get in that top four, as I currently, because obviously we want Champions League for next season, so we do want the top four. Obviously, it'd be great if we could win the FA Cup this season. That would be a fantastic achievement under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer if we could win the FA Cup. We have got a difficult fifth-round tie going away at Stamford Bridge, which is very, very difficult, because obviously Chelsea's home record is very, very good. It was good when they had Mourinho, but as I currently said, we've got a really, really bad record, at Stamford Bridge. We haven't won there, since 2012. So, Chelsea's home form against us is absolutely superior, as we all currently know. So we have got to be up for the task, as I currently said. But yeah, I think that's on the 17th of February, is it? Is that on a Friday? So I will have to look that up, as I said. Obviously, Chelsea beat us in the FA Cup final last season, as I currently said. But that will be a good game, to watch, as I currently said. Could go either way, to be quite honest with you. Could go either way, to be quite honest. But as I did say, we are probably a year or two off the league at the moment. We're at least a year off winning the title yet, but hopefully somewhere along the line, we can, he can elevate us to a high level and get us back up there competing for major honours, and get us back up there competing with City, Liverpool, and get us back up there challenging for major honours. As I said, whether it's Solskjaer that gets the job on a full-time basis, or whoever comes in at the end of the season, if it isn't Solskjaer that gets the job on a full-time basis, it's reportedly number one is Mauricio Pochettino. We know Zinedine Zidane's being mentioned in the process as well, as he currently said. But basically, a bit of Chelsea's news, as I currently said, Chelsea won by 5-0 yesterday. Gonzalo Higuain getting 2 goals, Eden Hazard getting 2 goals. As I currently said, I think David Luiz got the 5th goal as well. And you can see Chelsea, suffered a bad defeat to Bournemouth midweek. They lost by 4-0. Obviously, that was their heaviest defeat in the Premier League for 23 years, as I currently said. And reports are coming out saying that actually, Sarri was under pressure, reportedly, because we know Chelsea have had a lot of managers in a short period of time, because they have sacked quite a lot of their managers, to be quite honest here. But as I currently said, Chelsea got back to winning ways yesterday against Huddersfield. Huddersfield are obviously bottom of the league. It's looking like they're going to go back into the Championship, Huddersfield Town, as I said. But Chelsea still know there's the room for improvements, even though they did get Gonzalo Higuain, which I do think is going to do well for Chelsea. He's 31, but he knows Sarri. Sarri knows him, as I said, because they have worked together previously. Chelsea can, develop the loan into a further 12 months if he meets certain targets. As I currently said, I think this is in relation to the appearances and the amount of goals he scores and stuff like this. But Chelsea could make the deal permanent if they are willing to pay £36 million for him. He is fulfilling that number 9 role, as I said, but he's a proven goal scorer. He's proven it, throughout his playing career. But this now, obviously, Hazard has been struggling recently, but Hazard played well against Huddersfield. Yesterday, he got 2 goals to his name, as I said. But now, obviously, Eden Hazard is back on the left-hand side on the left wing, playing in his favoured position, as I currently said, because obviously before Higuain coming, obviously Eden Hazard was playing in a false number 9 position for Chelsea, as we all currently know. But Higuain's now arrived, so Higuain, Hazard is playing in his favoured role on the left-hand side. As I currently said, but obviously Chelsea are obviously going to think about, getting a replacement for Fabregas in the summer, as I currently said, because obviously they missed out on Leandro Paredes. Obviously PSG got Leandro Paredes in the process, but obviously they do want a replacement for Cesc Fabregas, as I said. Maybe Eden Hazard, could leave in the summer as well, because what Sarri said in relation to Eden Hazard, he basically said that Eden Hazard can leave Chelsea if he wants to, if he feels as though that's the best thing for him, Eden Hazard. But Chelsea still know how much of a central player he is. His current deal does end with Chelsea in 2020, and he's flourished, he's grown and developed very, very well, and he's flourished as Eden Hazard. He's been in the Premier League, 7 years now, as we all know, as Eden Hazard. He's made over 300 appearances for Chelsea, scored over 100 odd goals, as I said. And he can play as an attacking mid, and he can play out wide. And we know that he's been linked to a move to Real Madrid. Real Madrid have reportedly been interested. It would cost Real Madrid quite a lot of money, to get Eden Hazard in this summer, as I said. But as Eden Hazard did admit last summer after the World Cup that he did want to leave Chelsea. He previously admitted before that he loved Real Madrid as well, Eden Hazard. So his current future is uncertain at the moment, as I currently said. But I still think he's the third best player in the Premier League, behind Salah and Kevin De Bruyne. I do think he's nowhere near. I don't think I think Eden Hazard's a very, very good player, but I don't think he's on the same caliber or same level as Mohamed Salah. To be quite honest with you. To be quite honest with you, as I currently said. So whether Hazard leaves or not, I do not know. Obviously, they've got Callum Hudson-Odoi there as well. Bayern Munich may try and push a move, to get him in the summer as well. Because Callum Hudson-Odoi, was strongly linked with a move to Bayern Munich, throughout the January transfer window. It did say reportedly Bayern Munich were willing to offer him the number 10 role, as I currently said, due to lack of game time. He's been getting with Chelsea. I think he's been playing, he's been playing more recently, for Chelsea, but for the majority of the season, Callum Hudson-Odoi, has been struggling, to get in the Chelsea team. As I currently said, he has been struggling to get in the Chelsea team. He has been struggling to get in the Chelsea team, Callum Hudson-Odoi, and obviously he's been a Chelsea player since the age of 8 years old. Reportedly Chelsea were reluctant to offload him, but from Callum Hudson-Odoi's perspective, he did confirm that he's going to be staying at Chelsea for the remainder of the season. Then Bayern Munich are going to try get a move for him in the summer, as I said. But Chelsea have been in negotiations of getting Callum Hudson-Odoi a new deal at the club, but a new contract. But reportedly Callum Hudson-Odoi totally turn this down, as I currently said. But Callum Hudson-Odoi, as I currently said, he's only 18 years of age, so he's very, very young. He's prime. He's a player that's determined to get more first team football, and this is what he wants at his age, so he can grow and develop, as I currently said, but really hasn't had the opportunity at Chelsea. Reportedly Bayern Munich have reportedly Bayern Munich did reportedly have 3 bids turned down. Reportedly they come up with a new bid in the region of around £35-40 million, as I currently said. But Bayern Munich looking to get some young players in their team because Arjen Robben's set to leave in the summer, and obviously they've got a few other aging up players as well. So reportedly they did identify Callum Hudson-Odoi as a potential target, but reportedly Callum Hudson-Odoi may leave in the summer because he did blatantly put a transfer request in the January transfer window. Did Callum Hudson-Odoi, as I currently said. But Chelsea will want a replacement of Fabregas in the summer. They may need a fullback as well. Obviously, David Luiz, Chelsea being in negotiations getting him a contract extension because his current deal ends in the summer. Gary Cahill, could leave Chelsea in the summer as well. So Chelsea, obviously, from their perspective, will want replacements. And obviously, Chelsea want top 4 this season because obviously, they're in the Europa League at the moment, so they do want to get back into the Champions League for next season as well. And there's quite a few teams, going for the top 4, as I currently said, including my club, Manchester United. Are trying to get the top 4, as I said. So there's a few teams, going for it, as I currently said. There's a few teams going for it, as I currently said, but it's going to be interesting, as I currently said. So yeah, that's mainly everything to update you with. Manchester United have got to beat Leicester tomorrow, so we have got to get back to winning ways. As I currently said, we can't allow a lot of points for Vardy. It's going to be interesting to see Herrera come up against Maddison, because likely Herrera will be featuring in the game. I think Harry Maguire, has played very, very well for Leicester. I thought he played very, very well against Liverpool as well. Harry Maguire, as I currently said. We've also got Manchester City against Arsenal as well, which is going to be a very, very interesting game. I do think City, will be the favourites to quite honest, because City have spent a lot of money, spent 500 million under Guardiola, and they have got that quality up the front, that can punish Arsenal's defence, because Arsenal have got problems defensively. They've also got a lot of injury concerns as well, as I did say on my preview the other day as well. And obviously Arsenal's record against the top 6, isn't very, very good, to be quite honest with you. But they've got injury problems. They've got injuries to Koscielny. Reportedly was back in training. They've got injuries to Socrates. They've got injuries to Dan Danny Welbeck, Hector Bellerin's a long-term absence, who else have they got out? They've got Rob Holding out, for long-term absence as well. So Arsenal have got injury problems. I think Mkhitaryan's out with an ankle injury as well. So Arsenal have got injury problems. So potentially from Arsenal's perspective, they'll have to be up for the contention. Reportedly, Denis Suarez could reportedly, make his debut as well, because obviously Arsenal have confirmed the signing of Denis Suarez, and reportedly, Umremre does see him mainly as a winner. Denis Suarez, even though he's versatile, he can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play centrally. Can Denis Suarez, as I currently said, but now he's reuniting with Umremre, which is good from Arsenal's perspective. And Arsenal will have to hope, he does hit the ground running. Denis Suarez, obviously. Arsenal will have to hope that he does hit the ground running. Denis Suarez. Arsenal obviously agreed a loan, with the option to buy him in the summer. They paid around 2 million, was it, for the loan, with the option to buy in the summer for around 18 million pounds, as I said. But it will be interesting to see how he performs for Arsenal, how he fits in the team, and do you think he'll complement Arsenal's team? Because he has previously played in English football. He had a couple of years with Manchester City, as I currently said. He also used to play for Villarreal at one point, didn't he, as well? But obviously he had to leave Barcelona because Barcelona have got a lot of midfielders. Obviously he wasn't getting the first team football at Barcelona this season as he currently wanted. And obviously he signed a contract extension of a further year until 2021. But his current deal did end in 2020, but it got extended by a further year as that did confirm. But obviously Arsenal will be happy they got the pursuit of the play, because the other week, as it was reporting, that talks had broken down between Arsenal and Barcelona, because obviously Arsenal were refusing to commit to a permanent deal, but Barcelona were willing to do business. They did say, we want to sanction him off permanently, or we'll sanction him off on loan with an obligation to buy. But in the end, Barcelona softened the stance and let Denis Suarez go to Arsenal, as I currently said. So he could be making his debut against Manchester City. So it'll be interesting, to see how he fits in the team, Denis Suarez, as I currently said. From Arsenal's perspective, they'll be disappointed that they didn't get another player on top of Denis Suarez, on loan. Arsenal could only make loan signings, as it did confirm, because they had financial restrictions, as it did confirm. Obviously, Arsenal have got players, that could be leaving the club as well. Obviously Arsenal have got players, that could be leaving the club as well. And as I did say, but they'll be disappointed that they didn't get the pursuit of Yannick Carrasco. They wanted to get in. They inquired about getting Ivan Perisic in as well in the January transfer window, but they didn't get him. They inquired about Christopher Nkunku from PSG as well, 21-year-old midfielder. But as PSG did agree to let him go to Arsenal on loan, but obviously PSG said, we want to get a replacement in. We want to find reinforcements in the midfield before we let Christopher Nkunku go. They did inquire about getting an Idrissa Gueye from Everton, but reportedly PSG, I think, had 2 bids turned down in the process from Everton. I think the recent one on deadline day, PSG put around £6 million in for Idrissa Gueye, but reportedly Everton turned this down. So reportedly Arsenal's pursuit of Christopher Nkunku come to an end, as I currently said, because Arsenal, it was something to do with the financial commitment, and Arsenal couldn't come to an agreement on a loan fee with Christopher Nkunku. As I said, he was keen on reuniting with Umremre, as I said, but as I did say, since Thomas Tuchel's coming at PSG, Christopher Nkunku, hasn't been getting, the first team football he would have liked. But Umremre's previously, worked with him, as I currently said. So Arsenal did miss out on him. They missed out on Yannick Carrasco, as I currently said. But Arsenal only ended up getting one loan player, and that was Denis Suarez, as I currently said. But Umremre confirmed Arsenal could only make loan signings in the January transfer window. And obviously Mesut Ozil's future is still very, very uncertain with Arsenal. Obviously PSG put a loan move in for him right at the end of the January window, but reportedly from Ozil's perspective, he turned this down. According to German press, Ozil turned it down. He refused to leave on a loan move, and he wants to stay at Arsenal, even though Umremre did say throughout the January transfer window that he wanted to sell Ozil to raise some funds, and Umremre did make it clear that he demanded Ozil to leave because he struggled this season. He's failed to adapt himself, hasn't been getting the first team football he would have liked, and he's had a couple of injury problems as well as Mesut Ozil. But he's been in the Premier League good 6 years, Premier League proven. He's done good the number of years he's been in the Premier League, but since Umremre's coming, he has struggled, for that first team football as Mesut Ozil. There could be still strong speculations, that he could leave in the summer. He's obviously got a new contract. He's on £350,000 a week. He's Arsenal's, of course, highest paid player, is Mesut Ozil, as I currently said. So he could leave in the summer as well. But going into this game, you know, the Manchester City Arsenal game, as I said on the preview, you know, Manchester City, you know, have got a few injury problems of their own as well. You know, they've got Vincent Kompany out. I think he's got a muscle problem. They've got Cardio Bravo out. They've got Benjamin Mendy out through injury as well. Edison may not be featuring for Manchester City because he suffered an injury against Newcastle. So basically, City will be looking to bounce back, you know, from their defeat to Newcastle as well. I do favour Manchester City, you know, to quite honest, because the home record is very, very good, as I currently said. But that will be an interesting game to watch. As I currently said. But Omeme did say he wanted a winger. He wanted a versatile midfielder, as I currently said. But obviously, one of the areas that Arsenal did need to strengthen up was their defensive area, because they have got concerns defensively of Arsenal as well, as I said. But as I did currently say, Manchester United, you know, I do have to beat Leicester tomorrow. We've got to get back to winning ways, you know, if we do want to get into that top four, as I currently said. We do want to get into that top four, as I currently said, and that's very, very important indeed, as I currently said. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, guys, and I'll see you all again in the morning.